Doodling with the Zentangle pattern Paradox. Guys, we're going to do a fun doodle project using the permanent fabric markers by Arteza. This is not sponsored. This is some more of I need to make some ornaments for my tree, and I'm just bringing you along with me. This was another one that I did, and I didn't record it. It's just one of my little winter sprites standing on some ornaments. He's going to hang up in my window, I think, because he's not really the theme for the tree. But I think that a wooden disc with just a geometric pattern, that's going to be kind of cool. I am going to do this where I'm going to break this into quarters, and I'm going to draw just right on here. These are fabric markers. I know, really, really cool, huh? It looks like it does bleed a little bit. It's feathering just a little bit, but it's not that bad. And what I'm going to do is that Paradox pattern, the one where if you do it narrow to wide, and then you do narrow to wide the same way, and then I'm going to go narrow to wide, but I'm curving it around, kind of following the shape of the outside circle. Yeah, this is bleeding a little bit, but I think it's going to be cool because still going to make a neat effect. It should have been wide. All right. Narrow to wide. And then I can color it with either markers or I can use colored pencil. If I even want to color it, I might want to leave it the way it is. And I'm still just doing narrow to wide. The cool thing with the Paradox pattern is where it happens, you can either end up with fan shapes. So this could have a fan going this way and a fan, 4 fans is what this one is going to end up with. Or you could have it have little rods going through. I like it with the fans. So to make the fan work, I'm going to go narrow to wide and work my way around the other direction. Narrow to wide. Narrow to wide. You don't have to match them up perfectly. The effect happens even if you don't match. This is a fun way to make tags for gifts or to make ornaments for your tree. I need to narrow to wide. Wow, that one went really wide. I'm going to slip another one in there. Just like that. I tend to stay a little bit more on track when I'm not talking. And this is a fairly broad tip. You're not going to get tiny, fine details. That's okay. But look at that. I mean, that's kind of cool as it is. If you didn't have that line going through the top, you could then do a different pattern that goes all the way across. But I want another fan that's facing it, so I'm going to turn this. Actually, I'm going to rotate it, and we're going to start working on this other one. So narrow to wide, narrow to wide. And really it works better if you can move it back and forth. Narrow to wide, narrow to wide. So this is one of those patterns that was named by the people who coined the phrase Zentangle. That is a trademark phrase or title. I do not necessarily do their things the way they teach them. I am a doodler. What they say about Zentangle is that it is not doodling, but I am a mindful doodler. So I call what I do doodling or Zen doodling. And I usually do not even know what the name, if there is a name, what the name of whatever it is. I don't usually pay attention to that because that sort of sends me out of that mindful phase if I have to think about the titles of things. These pens, so surprising. I'm still surprised by it. This is the first time I've done any doodling on one of these discs with this pen. So first time doodling on a wooden disc with a fabric marking pen or with a fabric paint pen. Fabric paint marker. Again, it's not sponsored. These were on my shelf for about 2 years, and I'd only used them once on a tea towel. And then I put them aside and I didn't use them. Look at that. Now, I guess the thing to do would be to do the same thing on the back side. It's not as clean. Actually, I think this has some of the absorbent ground on it on this side. We'll see how that goes. I am going to do the same pattern again, so I'm just going to fast forward this pattern this time, and then I'll meet you right back here. All right, so if you see this side, I did have an oops, and I decided, since I was really close to the beginning of that round, to just kind of ignore that I had done it wrong and then start doing it right. Now, one of the cool things here is that you can add some little lines to it to make that fan kind of feel like it's flowing. And if you do it to both sides, look at that. Not even gonna notice. You give your eyes enough interest, they won't see the little imperfections. And I'm not going to do anything else to this. I think it's really cool the way it is. It makes it look like shells. I'm going to do that to the other side too. The pen works really well on the side that had the absorbent ground. So I would recommend putting some of the watercolor absorbent ground on your wood before using these pens, if you're not doing it over the top of acrylic paint. just so it doesn't bleed out, because this side did bleed out just a little bit. The other side, the lines stayed nice and crisp. So this would be a really pretty ornament to do for a beach theme tree. Doesn't that look like shells? And that's the side that had the absorbent ground on it. So that side or that side, either one is so pretty. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as I played a little bit more with the Arteza permanent fabric markers on wood discs making ornaments. This time we did doodling with the Zentangle pattern Paradox. I hope that you will come back and see what other creative things I come up with. Thanks, guys, and remember, go out and do something creative, take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you, and I want to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.